I gotta get ready, so I might as well just do it on camera and tell you about my microblading experience. So I follow this guy. His real name is Ruben. Didn't find that out until when I got there, but I follow him on Instagram. His name is Brow Daddy. I think it's like brow_daddy. So I followed him for a couple of months, and I kept noticing that he does a lot of classes. So he flies like everywhere. He teaches classes in Miami, Las Vegas, LA. He just had one in Hawaii. I think he's trying to do one now in Australia, but whenever he has these classes, he initially does like testing on pig skin at first. This is just from what I see on his Instagram. So he does that during his classes, and then he has in-person training. So when he has training, he asks for models within the area, and the service is completely free. So one night I was laying in bed, and I saw that he posted on his Instagram story that he needed a model for his Vegas class, and I believe it was, when was it? It was in May, for sure May. I can't remember the exact date, but I was scrolling like right before I was going to sleep, and I saw that he posted it. So whenever he posts these on his Instagram story, like he always posts them super late, so you kind of have to be lucky, I guess you could say. And it's like late for me for Vegas time. It's usually like 11 o'clock at night, so you kind of have to stay up late. And he asks for like a picture of your natural brows, nothing on them. As you can tell by the thumbnail, I literally do not have brows. Like, they're just non-existent. Considering how dark my hair is, even though it is colored, for the most part, this is pretty much like how dark it actually gets. So I sent him a picture of my brows, and he messaged me back. I can't remember what time he messaged me. No, it was actually that night. Because I remember my watch going off, because I have an Apple Watch, and it went off while I was dreaming. So it kind of like was incorporated in my dream. So I looked at my watch, and it was at midnight. So I messaged him back and forth, and the next day I had my event, or not my event, I had to be there at like 2 o'clock in salon. I have the message, so I'll read the message still. It's weird because I never keep messages, but because I have to do a touch-up, I decided to keep the message just so I have constant communication with him. So, what did he say? The class was 2 to 7, and I ended up leaving, I think, at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I did get there at 2. We didn't start until like 3. So really, it only took about 3 hours. So he asks for no pregnant people, not breastfeeding, you have no allergies, no diabetes, and then you have to be between the ages of 21 and 40. So obviously I met all that criteria. So his instructions before said, please don't drink coffee in the morning or take supplements like caffeine, since that's blood thinning. You can wear soft makeup for the photo if you'd like. So I drink coffee pretty much every day. So it was kind of difficult for me, but I just drank water that day. I didn't drink any caffeine. So when I got there, I had to fill out some paperwork pretty much saying like, I accept, I forget what it was, but it was pretty much like one of those consent forms, making sure like you follow the aftercare and he's not responsible, blah, 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 blah. So I filled that out. Obviously, I'm perfectly fine with any repercussion that I could possibly get. So I filled that out, waited, went in there, and there was 2 girls in my class that were kind of studying. So he ended up doing my right eye, and they ended up doing my left eye. So basically what he did is initially they stenciled the outside of my brows, and then to make sure that they were absolutely perfect, he used an app on his phone. I don't know the app because I wasn't in the class, so I wasn't you know, too concerned with it, but he showed it to me and it was actually really cool. So it pretty much like lines up the top of your brows, the beginning of your brows, the arch, the tail, literally everything is symmetrical. So that was pretty cool. When you keep your eyes open, your brows tend to sit a little differently, but when your eyes are closed, that's pretty much like how your face will lay. So I had to have my eyes closed for that, so I did that. And from there, he started outlining. Well, obviously I had to approve of the shape and if I like the shape or whatever, so I did. It was a little weird at first because the way that he did the shape wasn't something what I would naturally do, but it's also because I am not a professional and I don't know what I'm doing, especially when it comes to my brows. So I kind of just trust his judgment because his feed is very, very good. Like, his work is amazing. So he outlined my right brow, and then they outlined the second one, making sure, like, he was literally watching the entire time if they were putting too much pressure on and so on and so forth, and making sure that the strokes were short enough. So he did that, and then afterwards I checked the shading, well, not the shading, I guess the outline, and then he put on some numbing cream. They kept asking during the outline portion if it was hurting. And to be honest, it's kind of hard to say. When I first was doing it, it didn't seem like it was hurting. It honestly felt like bee stings. And it was more just like uncomfortable to me. I have a really high pain tolerance, so it didn't seem like it was hurting me. But after a while, I was just like, okay, this is starting to get a little irritating. So, but they don't usually do numbing cream when they're doing the outline. It just seems unnecessary. So after they did the outline, they started shading in. And they ended up using a really, really dark one, but it landed a lot, and that's why I have to go in for my touch-up. But I don't mind because I'd rather it be too light in the beginning than too dark and not be able to have the option of going lighter. So they started shading it in, and that's probably what took the longest. Because they had to go over it, and it depends on how your skin takes the color. They ended up having to do mine 4 times, and usually sometimes it takes like 5 to 6. So my skin was taking it pretty well because I didn't drink any caffeine, and that doesn't usually happen. And I also didn't have a lot of swelling, which was, I guess, I was like an ideal client. So that was pretty cool. They put on a numbing cream. And it took about like 5 minutes to kind of, you know, work, I guess you could say. And then they would go over my brow once, and that's considered, I forget the term that they use, but they went over my brow like 4 times. After the 1.5, it really started to hurt. But I didn't, like, like I said, I have a high pain tolerance, so I was able to handle the pain. But whenever he was like, Amanda, do you want some more numbing cream? I was like, yes, please, please. It constantly felt like you were scratching at your eyebrow. So it was, like I said, it was really uncomfortable. I could have easily done it without the numbing cream, but I mean, since I had the option of it, why not? The aftercare was pretty easy. I pretty much just didn't wear makeup for, I think it was 2 weeks. It was 10 days, I think. I just chose not to because it's just easier. I'd much rather have my brows be completely healed and not bothered by, you know, trying to wash my face off makeup and not be even able to do my brows anyways. So I have a couple of pictures, like I think after 5 days, a week, and then after 10 days. So I will insert those pictures, you know, throughout the video as well. But other than that, just for aftercare, you avoid water, can't go into pools, no chlorine, nothing like that. And he gave me Aquaphor to put on my brows twice a day. So when I woke up in the morning, I would put it on, and then at night I would put it on before bed. And they healed pretty well. Even when they started peeling, I didn't touch them at all. I very, very even lightly just wiped my brows just to try and get the dead skin off so it could kind of be free of that. But other than that, that was pretty much it. And my brows right now, they are, see, it's hard now because like I need to put makeup on my face, and it's hard for me because when I do my makeup, I always do my brows last, so after I put my foundation on and everything. So now I have to try and adjust my makeup. It's like me trying to adjust like how I do my makeup routine. So it's also hard because now I have to try and make sure I put my makeup not on top of my brows, otherwise I have to go. I still touch it up, but for the most part, I don't have to touch it up that much. It's pretty much just making sure like I like fill it in if I put too much foundation over my brows. But I do have to go in, and so he requires a touch-up like a month and a half after, and he is coming into town, I think, this month, but he's not able to do me this time, so I have to wait until July, which isn't a big deal to me. I mean, it's all free. It was over $900 worth of services, and I'm getting it for free, so it's like I can't complain. If anything, it really just helps me have a better idea of the outline of my brows. So I mean, right now you can kind of see. Here, I'll zoom in. So these are my brows. They look very, very natural. So what I got was a ombre powder microshading. It's not even microblading. So they look a little wonky right now, but because I have a window open so you can't really see. So this is what it looks like. They're supposed to be more faded in the front, and I feel like that the color just kind of disappeared altogether. So that's what I'm going to try and have them fix when I go back. Just for now, just so I can make sure like they look fine. I mean, for the most part, they look fine, but like the arch and the tail, they kind of like disappear, like I said, when I do my makeup. So just to kind of fill them in a little bit, like I really don't even fill them in. I just use the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer in Light Brunette, which is weird because when I was initially doing my brows, this was too light, like it just looked crazy. And now it looks perfectly fine, but I still prefer my brows to be a little bit darker because my hair is so dark that I feel like my brows just don't really match my hair color at the moment. So, but this color matches my micro shading like perfect. Do y'all like do this when you do your fucking brows? Make sure like when you got a stank face, like your brows look good, because I do. It's a really cool experience. Both him and the girls that did my brows, they were so sweet and so nice. Yeah, that's really all I have to do for my brows now. Like before, it would take me, and I swear, like my mood would depend on if my brows looked good, and most of the time it always looked like crap. I think I'm just gonna finish up getting ready on camera. You can stay around if you want, but that's pretty much my microblading technique. So I guess what I used was foundation, the Milani 3-in-1 Conceal and Perfect foundation. It's the only one that's dark enough because I have a little bit of a tan. Maybelline Fit Me concealer, Airspun Ulta finishing powder all over my face. I use the Physicians Butter Bronzer to kind of bronze, not really contour. And then I also use the Physicians Formula Butter Blush in Natural Glow. It's like a lame name. And then I ended up using Max Whisper of Gilt for highlight. That's what I've done so far. And then obviously you saw me do my brows. Can you get your nose out of there? Thank you. I don't know what I'm going to do for my eyes. I don't really feel that ambitious today. I've been addicted to setting my eyelids with the Just Peachy palette. Either peach meringue or peach butter. You smell? You smell? Ollie's like right on my lap. He's been here the whole time. I am using peach meringue all over to kind of like set my eyelid. I use the MAC 224 brush. Going into the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia. I think I'm going to take Orange Soda. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with burnt orange right underneath that. It's kind of similar to my eye look yesterday. I went back in with burnt orange on this one. Can you say dumbass? Okay. I meant orange soda. I'm sorry, I'm not even drunk. I'm gonna take the Morphe 433 brush. I'm gonna go in with Sienna. Deepen that up a little bit. I'm gonna go gold on my eyelids. I'm going to take Berry. Just gonna do my under. I'm not gonna do any liner. I don't really feel like it. I don't really feel like anything right now. I feel like pop though, because that's what's up. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do brown in my waterline. Just make it kind of sugar. And then just smoke it out a little bit with Sienna. Favorite drugstore mascara. This right here. And then for just like tossing things around, underline or under, what the fuck is it called? Your lower bottom lashes. Lash Discovery, because the brush is like that big. It's perfect. Okay guys, I am done with this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about micro shading, let me know. I will have all the information in the description box below. And subscribe. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye.